All right. Come in, come in. Come in, come in. Hello to you all. Hello, hello. Let me see if I can see you because I have no earthly clue. Okay, there you are. Hi, everyone. How is everyone this evening? Look who's actually on time. Can you believe it? Hi, Joni Thurman. Hey, Will Smith. Hello, Robin Bryant. How are you tonight? Little Miss Boutique. So Crafty, Rebecca James. Good evening to you. And Miss Parker. Hey, Miss Parker. I'm great. How are you this evening? How is everyone? We're trying out a new video streaming thing. So if things start to go a little crazy, please forgive me. I'm learning new software, so we're gonna see how much fun we can have with this one. It's got some really cool interactive things built into it for you guys, so we'll see how all of that transitions over the coming live stream. So I'm really excited about it. Hi, Miss Carol Coleman. Hey, Marianne Reddick. How are you this evening? And Joyce Bach and Terry Romano. How are you guys this evening? How is everyone? How was your weekend? It looks to be that we're going to get a soggy week this week. So for those of us on the East Coast, particularly middle East Coast, be careful with your embroidery items. You may have to wrap up a couple of machines or something because it doesn't look like it's going to be a fun ride. So we had a couple of people in some embroidery groups talking about packing up their equipment and fleeing from the coast ahead of the hurricane. So I don't know if you're going to pack up your studio or not. I know I'm not going to do that. We're going to batten down the hatches, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Trina's Creations, good evening to you. So glad you did catch me. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see. Hi, Frida from South Carolina. Valerie Hill. Hi. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Valerie. Eartha Lewis. Hi. Vanessa McCorka. Hi. It's been months. Well, welcome back. Thank you for joining us again. Maria. I'm great. How are you? Valita from Twin Falls. Thank you for being here with us this evening. You don't see Blessing? My baby's back there. I picked her up yesterday evening. So yeah, we got her back. Thank God, girl. I was sweating bullets. But I do have some information for you guys that I got back from my repair people. So quite interesting. Quite interesting. Jeanette from England. Hello, my dear. Thank you for joining us, for being here from England all the way overseas. Rose, hi, you made it. Thank you for being here. Gail, you got rid of your Cricut and looking for a real cutter. I know that's right, girl. I'm already on that boat with you. I do have the 2 Cricuts, but I think a actual plotter cutter will serve our studio a lot better, but we'll see how it goes. Will, you're going to be listening on your way home. Please safe travels, my dear, because I know you finished up a show, and that's something else we're going to discuss with you guys this evening. Will, I met up with him again this weekend and had a ball with my buddy. I have a new friend, y'all. Will probably going to be tired of me after a while. But he came up this way to Charlotte area for another show, another Comic-Con, and so I met up with him there and got some interesting information. We shot a video on setting up for selling at a show, so that's going to be upcoming video that's pre-recorded, so we're looking forward to that. Ellis Wolf, hello, how are you? Barbara Raymond, good evening to you as well, my dear. And you guys, I see that my chat is missing. That's kind of disconcerting. I don't know why only part of my chat is showing up. Well, I mean, I do know why, because I didn't, like I said, I'm using a new software, so we'll see if we can't put that chat in there where it's supposed to be. But hopefully I'll get that straightened out before the end of the chat. Let us see. Miss Bickham, hi. She says, hello, y'all. Don't know how Tuesday is going to go due to the storm, but hopefully, again, we'll be a little bit safer. They did say that some forecasters are showing that it may go up above the coast, so hopefully it will. Connie, hi. Thank you very much, ma'am. I really appreciate that. Living Doll says stay safe in the storm. Thank you. We will definitely try. Janie says hi. Lorna, hi from North Carolina, where we're neighbors. So I'm right here with you, girl. So you're going to have to batten down the hatches too, Miss Lorna, at the rate they're talking about for next week. Debbie, hello to you too. And Linda Hamilton from Colorado. Thank you for joining us from the Midwest. I really appreciate that. So you guys, it's been pretty exciting around here. As I mentioned, some things are going to look different down in the video part below. We're working on that. Definitely trying to get some things up and going. Here we go, finally. Trying to get some things going for you guys to make it a little more fun and let you see what we got going on around here. But to say all of that, one of the other things we're doing is putting together some collaborations that are going to be upcoming for the channel. I know someone just recently asked me about tutorials, and she was like, hi, where are your tutorials? And I'm like, oh, my bad, I don't have any recent ones up. We were in the process of recording one, and I axed it. I didn't really like how it turned out, so I'm looking to a different tutorial, different item to stitch out. We're going to be doing quite a few in the hoop things this coming winter, and that's another important piece of information I wanted to share with you guys. The Carolina thread box that I have spoken of many times, that is actually coming to the end of the ability to subscribe for September is tomorrow. Okay, so the Carolina thread box, if you're new in here and you don't know what the Carolina thread box is, the Carolina thread box is a subscription service by one of our viewers. Excellent idea, where it brings our community, the embroidery community, together to work on a monthly project. It's really cool. And it also allows you to invest in threads that are high quality, because the Sulky thread brand is a very good quality brand of thread. So it comes with 4 spools based on the level of subscription that you choose. And as I mentioned, there's a monthly project included. Now, each project is going to be roughly an in the hoop project. So the materials that you will need for the project will be in the subscription box. So it's just something a little bit fun to do in addition to getting your monthly spools of thread. And the month of September's box, the last day to be able to get that particular project is tomorrow. So I wanted to make that real quick announcement, because we definitely, if you want to join in, there's going to be an unboxing whenever my project arrives, the day it arrives, that afternoon, later that evening, roughly about 6 o'clock. We'll do a live unboxing here on YouTube. So later this week, some point in time this week, I'll do a live unboxing of the project to show you guys my box when it gets here, and the project that's included in it. Then after we do the live, I'll let you guys know what day we'll come together and actually do the project live together. The first project we'll do together. So I'm super excited about it. I kind of got a hint of what the project is. I can't spoil that particular surprise, but it is something that's going to be a lot of fun to work with you guys. And if you are a beginner, if you're a beginner embroiderer, you're just getting into embroidery and you want to have a step-by-step live demonstration back and forth with me on doing the project, this is the project to get in on. It is a simple project. It's easy, just to get your feet wet on an in the hoop project that's so simple to do. So we're excited about it, but this is only for the month of September. This particular project, the super easy one, the last day to get it is tomorrow. So if you don't have your subscription set up already, please go ahead and do so. So I wanted to let you guys know that. You said the 15th. What do you do? Well, CarolinaThreadbox.com is the website. I actually need to get up with you this evening to talk to you about how that subscription is going to work for the project that you and I have been talking about. So I need to get up with you before you make a decision, ma'am. Everyone else, you have until tomorrow. Well, I mean, we all have till tomorrow to order it, but you and I and Miss Bickup need to get together on that. So let us go back to the chat. We see Sheridan Jordan, I want to make sure I'm saying that right. Hello from Dayton, Ohio. Welcome. We appreciate you being here. I've been through Dayton quite a few times. I do like Ohio quite a bit. Ms. Lorna says you're preparing in the Outer Banks. I know that's right. The Outer Banks looks like they're going to get pummeled. So I was watching it this evening at dinner, and you know, it kind of reminds me of the path of Hugo. So it might skip you guys and just come straight up the middle of North Carolina like Hugo did, and that's kind of the way they're showing it, and it's a little scary. It's a little scary on that. Deb C, hello, Miss Social Deb, thank you for joining us under your new name. Will Smith says Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Yes, is that where you are? We will be headed that way at some point in time soon, so it would be cool to meet up with you. Latasha, good evening. Eve and the Baby's Booty family, good evening to you, Miss Latasha. Debbie Kidd, hi, hello to you as well. Karen Caldwell, hey love, how are you doing this evening? Thank you for being here. And Cammie, hi, haven't seen you here, so welcome to our live chat. We're doing questions and answers about embroidery. I didn't really have any specific topics this evening. We had a specific topic last week, so I want it to be free chat this week. If you do have questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. I will see them. For some reason, my chat on the screen is wanting to act monkey, so it's not showing up now, but it doesn't matter. I do have your chat here, so I'll be able to see it and answer your question. Let me go back here. Will, you say it ships on the 15th? That's correct. Miss Bickham, again, I need to get with you. Sharon Blake, good evening to you as well, my love. Thank you for being here. Will says you're not driving right now, you're at Zaxby's. Yeah, I think we all are nervous about the storm, so it's never fun to have severe weather rolling through. Angela Jackson, hello to you. Thank you for being here. Nancy Faust from Iowa, hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. Aisha from Trinidad and Tobago. I'm getting tongue-tied. Hello and welcome. Welcome back to our live this evening. Debbie Pick from Australia, down under. Thank you for being here all over the world. We're being represented this evening, the Baby's Booty crew. Rose, hi Eve. Someday I would love to hear how you got started in business. Well, Miss Rose, it wasn't that difficult. Actually, it started out as a hobby and a desire to make gifts for friends. I had a couple of friends that were expecting, that had never had baby girls before, so that's what was coming, and I love designing and doing things for babies, but the little girl stuff, what I was finding online was really super cute, so I decided that I wanted to try my hand at embroidering a couple of onesies and a couple of blankets, and that's what started it. Prior to, actually a year before that, is when I bought my embroidery machine, but I was so intimidated by just the box itself and seeing the machine that I didn't even open it for 6 months. Okay, then 6 months I got brave enough to open it, tried to embroider something with no stabilizer or anything. It was tragic, and I was like, oh my god, this is terrible, I don't know what I'm doing. And so I put it back in the box and left it for a whole nother 6 months. So that was my introduction to embroidery. And then about a year after that, I started looking at videos on how to do embroidery, and there weren't very many step-by-step from the beginning to the end, starting with hooping and stabilizers. There just wasn't enough information in one place to help me get started. And so I kind of had to piece together hours and hours of video online to make it where I could understand what to do. And so that's when I began making things for friends and getting the hang of embroidery. And once I started getting the hang of it, someone asked me to make them something, and that they said they'd pay me. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I'm good enough for that. But it turned out to be an excellent project, and I did get paid. And so that started me on the road to trying to find out how to get paid to do embroidery. So that's pretty much kind of how it got started in the rough draft, quick breakdown form. But I don't have any regrets whatsoever as far as getting it started. When I look back, are there some things that I would change? Yes, there are quite a few things I would change, but for the most part, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I developed a strong love for embroidery and designing things for people, and it just blossomed from there. So I appreciate you asking, Miss Rose, on how I got started. Not a fancy story in the least little bit, but it is how I got started in the garment designing business. Miss Parker, you said you're interested in some in the hoop designs for your 5x7 embroidery machine. Awesome. We're going to be doing those. As a matter of fact, most of the in the hoop designs that we'll be working on over the next few months are going to be where you have an option of 4x4, 5x7, or even larger. So all of the designs, we're trying to make it where there's going to be quite a few back and forth, but there are a whole lot of in the hoop designs for 5x7, ma'am. We would be embroidering for days if I, really took the time to expound on 5x7. 5x7 is a very popular size for in the hoop projects. So definitely stay tuned, and you can check out Designs by Little B. I'm pretty sure I still have her link in the description below. She has a ton of in the hoop designs. That's what she does. So you may want to check that out. My mic is tapping. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. Thank you. I'm gonna move it. Justin, hey Justin, how are you? Thank you for joining us live this evening. I tried to get Justin in the studio with us this evening, but he's preoccupied, which is fine. We understand. But we definitely want to get in with you guys on some vinyl and answer your vinyl questions in regards to if you want to get into it, the heat press, the cutting machine as was brought out earlier, or how do you do vinyl on shirts, things of that magnitude. That's what we want to get Justin in here to answer for us. So really excited to get him in here when he returns from vacation. Joyce says, hi, Joyce, in Canada. You're vacationing in Canada. Passed through my area twice. Well, I hate we didn't get to meet up, Miss Joyce. That would have been a lot of fun to meet you. Been having fun meeting several people, actually. So I'm looking forward to whomever wants to be at the NBM show. November the 2nd is when I will actually be on location. I don't have a spot reserved there or anything like that. What I was going to do was examine their itinerary and look at a good space therein somewhere where there's not a lot of classes, and see if I can't set up one particular time frame that we can meet up. Like, say for instance, lunchtime, we can meet up for lunch at the NBM show, or maybe that evening after most of the stuff has died down. I don't know, but we'll definitely look into it. If you have any suggestions, drop them in the comments below, or if you're in the Google Plus group, you can leave a Google Plus comment on my NBM show listing, because I did post a listing of the NBM show in the Google Plus group, and you can leave a comment and say, hey, have you thought about this time, or have you thought about us getting together this way? And we'll see about narrowing down some options and make it where whomever is going to attend has access to come by and say hello. I would love to say hi to all of you if I could, but I know that's a trip and a half, right? Let me see. Miss Pamela Hawkins says good evening. Good evening to you too. Purple Cloud, you're here. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Agent 4 says hello everyone. Hello to you. And Latasha says thank you, Eve, for all your training videos to help the Baby's Booty family. prevent from being intimidated by our machines. I'm a newbie and excited to get to know my new baby. You're welcome, my dear. I'm trying to tell y'all, that was painful. It really was painful to have a machine and sit there and look at it and just, you know, I was scared, because especially after I did my first project and it turned out to be trash, I was like, I'm never gonna learn this thing. But it's actually easy. It's way simpler than our minds make it out to be. And for that reason alone is why I've decided, you know, I was having unhappy embroidering when I was doing it. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. I need other people to understand. I'm sure there's others out there that needed to understand the exact same way I did. And that was step by painful step, you know. So to that end, that's why I made the videos, because I didn't want anybody else to be unhappy with their embroidery experience when it didn't have to be that way. So thus, we got the Baby's Booty channel, and I've been slacking on getting out more tutorials, and we'll be doing that coming up. And definitely answer any questions you may have. All right, so if you have any concerns, or if there's a type of video that you would like to see, you can leave that in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to take your video request into consideration. Joyce Rickett says, bring him back on with the cutting machine. So Justin, you have a request to have you in on the cutting machines. And you know what? I think it would be cool to have an actual plotter cutting machine in here with us. So I'll see about trying to get that ball rolling for when you get back. I can't make too many promises, but I'll definitely try. Joni Thurman says to Angela, you are the same way about your 6 needle. You just need to jump in and you'll love it. And it is a habit. I'm trying to tell you guys, when you get into it, for those that don't know, when you get into embroidery, you're hooked. Literally you are just obsessed. There are so many cool, beautiful designs, so many awesome projects, so many different things that you can do. It's overwhelming at times if you really stop and look at all of the embroidery options that you have, from hats to bags to shirts to totes to in the hoop projects to baby things for new babies. It's just crazy, all the things that you can do. So definitely you will love doing embroidery. And Sharon Blake is the N as in Nancy, B as in boy, M as in Mary, NBM show. I apologize for not pronouncing that clearer. The Baby Shower Place, hello to you. How are you today? Vanessa McCorkle says, no plans to go this year again. I'm going to do the John Deere Digitizer 3-day event. Go head on, girl. Now that's a fun event and it's pricey, but it's worth every penny, because if you want to be an excellent digitizer, John Deere is definitely the way to go. So congratulations on that and have fun. Take lots of notes for me. Joyce Rickett said you would love to come to the show. It is fun. You're browsing through all of the newest gadgets and the latest and the greatest in regards to garment design. So when I speak of garment design, it's like, you know, doing shirts or doing jackets, or actually it encompasses actually more than garments, because they do hats, they do laser engraving on items like signs, sign printery is there, statues, trophy people were there, if I'm remembering. Yeah, they were there. I mean, it's anything dealing with the business of customizing, actually, is the way I should really put it. The customizing industry. They encompass everything. There's going to be many. Last year there was, I think Happy was there, Happy Tex-Mex. So all of the Happy machines were out there. SWF was out there. I don't think Redline was out there. I'm not sure. But there was another embroiderer out there. And then there were a couple of thread suppliers out there. There were Carolina Made, who sells my embroidery blanks. They were out there. So it's a really huge event, and they give classes, and the registration is free, classes are free. right? So if you want to learn how to do rhinestones, they have a class. They'll have a class. If you want to learn how to do sublimation, they'll have a class. If you want to learn how to do laser engraving, they'll have a class. I mean, it's a whole itinerary of classes that are already laid out on their website. That if you ever wanted to know any more about a particular topic, you're more than welcome to sign up for those classes and learn about it. And they have the latest equipment there, the latest printers for sublimation or for direct to garment. It's oh man, it can be overwhelming if you let it, but if you go in with a target in mind, something that you know you want to get more information on, it's not quite as overwhelming. They have little gift bags, they have freebies, they have giveaways, they have drawings. I mean, it's fun. It really is fun. So if you're able to make it, that would definitely be a fun trip to take. But if you can't, it's definitely understandable. But it's in November the 2nd, so you got a month and a half really in a way to plan to attend. And so we'll try and have, as I mentioned, a time frame narrowed down to where you and I can get together and say hi. And I may have some goodies with me there. Don't know. I'll have to check with the show owners to see what all I would be able to do while I'm there on location. But I'm not trying to, cause any waves or anything, because I'm not as important as the rest of the folks that are out there, because they're there to sell and to show you the really cool things that you can do and buy new stuff. That's what they that's the whole goal of the folks out there, is to get you to buy more things. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm actually really looking forward to it. Latasha says it's such an awesome machine. Yes, they are. Rose says, Eve, thank you. Been there too. You are so real. Thank you very much. I appreciate hearing that. Marge says you made it. Welcome, Marge. Thank you for being here. Kay Ozen, beginners embroidery. Well, welcome to beginners area. We definitely love to help beginners here to make sure that you're having happy embroidering in your studio. So if you have any questions, please definitely put them in the comments below. Rose agrees that it's addictive. Definitely. Vanessa says you have been. Thank you. You're quite welcome. Maria says you are so right about becoming obsessed with the embroidery. I come up with something different to do all of the time, and I'm trying to tell y'all, don't get in on a website that has really neat stuff, like for instance, again, Designs by Little B. I'm trying to tell you guys, for the prices, her prices are ridiculously low on her items, and you can make them to sell. She doesn't care about that. That's, why she has it out there, is for you to benefit from it. But she has so many different really neat designs, you guys, and they are easy to do. They're really easy, simple to follow along with. And I mean, from passport holders to lip balm holders to bookmarks, I mean, it's just, and most of it is in the hoop, so I definitely suggest you reach out to designsbylittleb.com to learn more about the different little projects that she has available for you. So let me know if you get in with that and you have some questions in regards to that. Let us see here. You say, Miss Bickup, the larger machines are much easier to use than the domestic. If you're looking at the higher end domestics, you may as well check into the multi-needle machines. You won't be sorry. And Vanessa agrees with that. One thing I will say though, I will be doing a show in regards to brother machines. And when I tell y'all, I saw that brand new $20,000 embroidery machine in the flesh, it's crazy. Now, I originally said there is no way I would want to pay $20,000 for an embroidery machine. But let me tell you, when I saw it, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. I'm not gonna say anything. All I can say is, brother kind of like outdid themselves on this one. It's actually pretty dang cool what they've come up with now. So I'm really excited about doing the video on that. I got the green light, so hopefully we can get a date locked down and go ahead and get that thing filmed so that you guys can at least see the brother machines. And then we'll be working around to some of the other brands of machines, because I don't want to be biased, so to speak. I don't have any oh gosh, what is it called? I don't have, like, brother isn't backing me, Happy isn't backing this channel, SWF isn't backing this channel, so there's not like a brand loyalty. There's no branding here as far as the embroidery machine goes. Now, I do scream from the top of my lungs that brother is an awesome machine, but the reason why I do that is because for the price, the entry price point on brother is unmatched by anybody else in the industry. So if you're even thinking about trying to learn embroidery, seeing if you like it, seeing if you want to get into it, brother is the way to go, because the machine is a excellent little machine. It's a workhorse. I have 3 of them. You know, it takes a lot to tear up one of these little machines, and even then, you know, there's a lot that you can do for that little 4x4 space. And if you don't like it, if you don't like doing embroidery, well, your investment is minimal, you know, whereas if you go with any of these other brands, you're in the thousands on embroidery machines. I mean, I'm just saying. So that's why I say brother. But again, I don't have brand loyalty, because they're not, you know, like I can talk about any machine I want to on this channel. I'll just put it that way. I talk about brother because I want to. But yes, the brother is an excellent entry point machine, but we want to see what some of these other machines are about, because I'm hearing good things about Redline. I know Miss Bickham has sang praises about SWF, so it'd be interesting to see that. So hopefully we'll definitely get it together. And Lorna, yes, the Luminaire, that Luminaire is a fool. Yeah, when I saw it and touched it. Now, will I be buying one? No, I will not be buying one. But the technology is, oh man, I just hope they take that technology to the multi-needle. If they take that technology to the multi-needle, I would stretch to say I would possibly get another multi-needle machine to sit beside Blessing. So yeah, we'll look at that. Let us see. Maria says, Vanessa, you had the opportunity to go to a John Deere weekend 3 years ago. It was so much fun. He is so knowledgeable when it comes to digitizing. Yes, he is by far the top of the food chain when it comes to digitizing. Trina's Creations, how far do you travel to be in craft shows? Well, I actually don't travel very far from home for craft shows. Reason being, I have health limitations that affect what all I can do as far as expanding myself, I guess to say. And I usually have help with me to carry everything and put everything out at the shows. So I don't want to drag folks all across the country to do a show. But if it does seem to be something, I don't want to say lucrative, but that'll be worth my while and the helpers' while, then I would travel a little bit, but not too very far. Not too very far at all. Now, Mr. Will travels to his shows, but his shows are worth it, you know, so, and he has a niche for his shows, so that's why he's willing to travel. But definitely, I don't travel. I personally don't travel very far, but that's me and because of my limitations. Marge says you have both domestic and commercial. The commercial is the same. Domestic and commercial, yes. Well, the multi-needle does help. It does help. The domestic machines generally don't have multi-needles unless it's the Brother or the Baby Lock brand. But when she's mainly talking about domestic machines, she's talking about the smaller machines. So that's the reason for those. Let us see. Miss Bickham says, but you're important to us, and some of us are coming to the MBM show to try and meet up with you. Does anyone agree? No, nobody else agrees. Will says, I gave Eve my first In the Hoop project that I watched her video on. Yes, he did. He definitely did. When I went to the Comic-Con and we were discussing, you know, in the video, how no matter, even if you're a beginner, you actually can make projects and sell them at a craft fair if you wanted to. And he said, yeah, matter of fact, here's my first craft that I made, and it's up there on the shelf. And he was like, this is the first one. I watched your video and made this one. And then he gave it to me, and I was like, oh my God, that is like the most touching thing ever. You know, that was really sweet, because it's a video that I made to try and help make sense of doing the project, you know, step by step, so that you won't be left in the dark. And some people can't go based off of a picture, you know, and a verbal, you know, written down rather, instructions. I know I'm one of those. I would prefer to see it being done to make sure that I'm following correctly, you know. So that's why we did that, and I'm glad it's helped quite a few people. I get a lot of comments on that particular video with the little Crayola crayon pouch, so it was fun. Joyce Ricketts says, which one is that? The Luminaire. That is the machine that has all the bells and whistles on it, and it's $20,000. Sharon Blake, you can get a deal on a dream machine now. I have one, and people are trading in their dreams. Yes, they are. I bet they are. For that machine, yeah, they're trading that dream machine in to get that Luminaire, because it's amazing. It is actually really cool. Felita says, I just saw that one the other day, and oh my God, I'm trying to tell you. I can't wait to do the video on it. I'm just really pleased that Lee's Creative Sewing and Vacuum is going to allow me to do a video and let you guys see it in action. You know, it's just like really cool. I mean, there's a video out there, but we are under the understanding we're going to take it a step further than the other videos. The other videos are not going to show what we're going to show in our video, so I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about it. Miss Joni says she is too. Vanessa says you'll travel up to an hour away to do a show. Yeah, an hour is pushing it for me. I'd say maybe 30 minutes for me personally, but I don't like to really travel like that anyway. So, you know, it has to be something really important to me to get me to travel, to go somewhere to do something like that. Debbie Kid says, but the $20,000 machine is still considered a home machine though, isn't it? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And what people have a tendency to fail to realize, and I am not an expert, okay? I don't work for Brother. I've never worked for Brother. And I've never worked for any other embroidery machine company for that matter. But I have had in-depth discussions with Brother repairman, with Brother representatives, with Brother resellers, you know. So I ask a lot of questions when I meet people and talk to them. And one of the questions that I asked was, you know, is this a commercial machine? Well, technically, the Brother machines are not commercial machines, although they're multi-needle machines. But because it's multi-needle and there's a 10 needle multi-needle, and they consider it commercial. So I don't really know I need to learn the better way to explain it, but technically, it's a home embroidery machine. That's what it was made. That's why they promote it to the homeowner and the small business person, because that's what they want it to be in a smaller environment. Whereas most of your commercial machines, they not only have the single head multi-needle, most of your commercial machines have the option of the multi-head machines. That's another way to tell the difference between a more home-based brand versus a commercial brand. You know, you're not going to go to Happy and have a little small sit on your desk home-based embroidery machine. You're just not. So their machine and their equipment and the way their stuff is set up is for a commercial environment. All right. So, you know, no offense to anyone who feels otherwise. It's just when you look at how the facts are broken down, you can use it in a commercial environment. Heck, I use my little 4x4 machine in a commercial environment. Will does as well. That's how he started out his business. A lot of the small embroidery businesses that started out with the little home machine, it can be done, but there's no, you know, right or wrong way, and you're only supposed to have commercial. It's none of that. It's just stating facts for what they are, in that the Brother doesn't have a multi-head option because it's not necessarily promoted per se for a business. It can be used for that, and they'll love to have it used for that, but it's mainly for the home-based user. So the machines that I have is I have the PR655E, then I have the SE 500. No, PE 500. I have the PE 500, PR 650. See, all these letters in the beginning is what be tearing me out the frame. PR 655E, PE 500, SE 400, and the SE 425. Those are the machines that I have. And the SE machines are the ones that are embroidery and sewing in one. So the SE are combo machines. The PE is a embroidery only machine. Okay. Hopefully I didn't confuse nobody, because I probably confused myself. Anyways, let us see. Brother is great and easy. Yes, it is. Lorna says you have the 770 and the SE 625, and I love them both. So your SE 625, Lorna, is the combo machine. Am I understanding you correctly? And of course, PE is the only embroidery machine. Marge Campbell says the 20,000 machine is a home machine. Eartha Lewis said you got to play on that new Brother machine about 2 weeks ago. It is an awesome machine, but not in my budget. Miss Eartha, it ain't in my budget either, darling. So don't feel bad in the least little bit. My goodness. Dar Smith. Hey, Dar. How are you, darling? She says greetings and salutations to one and all. Rajur. Did I say that correctly? I hope I did. I'm trying to remember and trying to learn. Frida Tyson says, I have 2 brothers and a singer, which I hate. Oh, no. Don't hate it. Oh, man, that's funny. Barbara says you started with the PE 770 and went to the Dream Machine too, and I love it. Yeah, that Dream Machine, they say, is pretty nice. I haven't used it yet. Vanessa says I have a Ricoma MT 1501 and a 15 needle. Oh, it's a 15 needle. And 2 Husqvarna machines, the Designer one and the Ruby Royale. And that's another brand I've been looking at getting into to get some information, question and answers on their machines as well. Terry says, totally agree with you on the Brother. SE 625 combo is the best and love the price point. Yeah, the price, you just can't beat it. Nobody else touches it. Joni says you love your Brother 6 needle. A lot of us do. I know I love mine, girl. Woo, love my machine. Marge says I'd sell my car if they put all that technology in a 15 needle. I'm trying to tell y'all, that technology is, oh man, that technology is nasty. It is. I was like, wow, that's cool. Can I not tell you how many projects I would not have ruined had I had that technology on any of my machines? Now, I will say this though, the laser on the 655 was a godsend. That laser is everything, and it has definitely kept me from messing things up. So the laser is good. What they have now just took the laser and amped it up by 12 billion. So it's really cool what they've come out with. Let me see here. Valita, I have 2 Brother machines and 1 backup singer with no computer in it. Yeah, that's always fun. That's always fun. Maria says that you saw the Baby Lock Valent last week, and all I can say is wow. And see, I haven't even been to the Baby Lock store yet. I need to go down there. I know they probably like, whatever happened to her, because she ain't been back. Because I used to be down there all the time and I stopped going. Aisha says, so traveling to Trinidad and Tobago to do a show is out of the question. I wouldn't go to do a show not to be sitting out there selling stuff. No, ma'am. That's a lot of packing up, which is okay. So in working with Will, my new buddy, that he travels up here and goes to shows and teaches me inside scoops and stuff, Will and I are going to get together and do, well, we've already done most of the information on trade shows and setting up for your trade shows. Okay. That's a lot of stuff to take to a trade show. You know, you don't really stop and think about it too terribly hard, but it's not like, you know, packing up a few things from the house and going to the flea market and selling it. You know, if you really want to put your brand out there and let people know what you have and promote things that you can do, well, you want to have it set up pretty daggum nice. So in order to do that, you have to prepare. And so that's what our video is going to be about this week coming up. So to travel with all of that stuff, Trinidad and Tobago, no ma'am, I won't do that, but I love to travel there. I'm not going to put it out of my radar because I love the Caribbean and would love to travel. So that would come up if the first opportunity I get, darling. I come flying right on down there, and that's not driving as well. That's the other problem for me. I don't like to sit in the car and ride. It can prove to be painful eventually, so that's why. Deb C says, anyone going to the Paducah Kentucky quilt show next week? I didn't know there was one. So if you're going to the Paducah Kentucky quilt show, let us know in the comments below so that we can see about folks meeting up and saying hey to each other. Rhonda CW, hi Eve, I love my PE 770, was intimidated and overwhelmed, but getting the hang of it. Also, I have not been on the group chat for a while, but everyone's work in the group looks so good. Thank you, Rhonda. I appreciate it, and I'm sure they do as well. Thank you. In the Google Plus group we have available, it is in the description below. You can click the link to join. If there's a delay in the approval to have you join in the group, I apologize. One of our last live shows, I got a lot of weird folks asking to be in the group that I know for a fact they're not wanting to be in the group for anything positive. So I have spam flooded and I'm still weeding through that. So if I overlook, or if you did actually put in a request and you still haven't heard back from me, send me an email, please, so that I can know that you're officially wanting to get in the group to share your embroidery and your embroidery projects, and I'll make sure that you're in. But some of these other folks, no, sorry, you're not getting in the group. My bad. So anyways, but we do enjoy sharing the projects and the things that we're working on. So if you're interested in letting us know what you've been working on and sharing your awesomeness, then definitely join in on the group. We look forward to having you there. Vanessa says, no Paducah, just first hearing of it. And I hadn't heard of it either, but I'm not a quilter, so that would, you know, explain the most of that. Debbie Kidd says, 20,000 is a lot for a home machine. I paid that for my 2-head machine. And Debbie Kidd, that's pretty much what Miss Beckham 61 was saying as well. The 2-head commercial machines are less than that. 1 head is way less than that, you know. So that's where you have to make a choice. Should you go commercial, or should you go home base, or should you go domestic, which is the flatbed single needle, you know? Because once you start kicking out, you know, a few thousand, you kind of can get a multi-needle machine. So where do you make the decision, and why do you make the decision? And that's where it's an individual choice. First and foremost, it's an individual choice, but you definitely want to look at your production time. Okay, so if you're going to want to churn out orders like you anticipate, and you would like to process an order of, say for instance, 50 hats and 50 jackets for a family reunion or for whatever event, then think about the time it would take for you to sit at a single needle machine. I don't care how big the hoop is, and if it's a multicolor design, 4 colors, four different colors, okay, 4 different colors, really simple design, but you have to sit there and change threads 4 times, $20,000, 4 times you have to change with each thing. So 50 and 50 hats, 50 shirts, 100 things. You were changing threads 400 times by the time you finish that project. Whereas if you had a multi-needle machine and you put those 4 colors up on the machine, it changes the thread itself, and you're not changing threads, and you'll be done with those 100 pieces after the 100th day, you're not changing threads. The least you'd be doing is changing out your bobbin every so often because it runs out. So that's where you have to make your decision, which is more advantageous to you. You know, if you're only going to be doing a quilt here, a quilt there, a couple of baby blankets, then it may not be that big of a deal to you until you hit that design that's got 25 thread changes in it. And that's what changed my mind. So, you know, it's entirely up to each individual, and that's not to knock anyone's choice, because if single needle is all you can get, by all means, don't knock that hustle. You go ahead and get your coins by doing what you can do with that single needle machine, and let that build you up to be able to get a multi-needle eventually. They are a lot of fun. But if that's all you can do is the single needle, then please don't let what I'm mentioning offend you. You just have to hustle like I did, because that's what I had, was single needles in the beginning as well. And it's only because of a blessing that I even have a multi-needle. So you definitely want to understand, some folks, that's all they can do. But if you can kick out 20K for a single needle machine, then that's where the question comes in. Why wouldn't you go multi-needle? And if you are strictly single needle and you wouldn't want multi-needle, let us know in the comments below the reason why you would do that, because I mean, there's legitimate reasons why you would want to, and it would be cool to get your viewpoint. Whereas if you feel like multi-needle is the route to take, put that in the comments below and let us know how you feel about your multi-needle choices, right? And that could also bring up another argument, not argument, but discussion, because even with the multi-needles, there's discussions, because the price that you would pay for, say for instance, a brother or baby lock, you could get, instead of 6 needles, you could get, you know, 15 needles for the same price. Dar Smith, thank you, my darling. We really appreciate you, ma'am, so very much for the super chat. Thank you kindly, Miss Dar Smith. Did you have a question? You sure are a wonderful teacher and group leader. Thank you for your time. We're proud to support you back from home care weekend, and animals need to be fed. Love you and yours. Blessings and resort. The animals, my animals need to be fed too, ma'am. But they gonna have to wait till I'm done with live. What animals do you have? That would be cool to know. You're gonna have to get up with me, ma'am, so that I can know what kind of animals it is that you got going on over there that you was needing to feed. But thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Let me see. Rhonda, you said, by the way, congrats to you and the family on the wedding. Your daughter looked fabulous. Also, I think the hurricane may be coming your way. Of course it is. Please be safe to all those living in North Carolina and South Carolina. Yeah, it's coming towards us, ma'am. It really is. And it's got its sights set. And it's funny, most of the paths projected definitely Charlotte, North Carolina, which is inland by a huge margin. And it's crazy how we get hit with the hurricanes too. But all I can do is sit tight and ride it out, because that's the only thing I'm gonna be able to do around here. I don't really have any plans to go anywhere, and don't really have anywhere further inland to go, but I'm not really worried about it too much, because usually by the time it hits us, it's done lost a lot of steam. At least that's what we praying for. So we'll see how it goes. Marge says, you have a brother SE 270D single Futura CE 150 and the GS 1501, like the Avante. Love them all. And that's another machine I've been looking at. I don't know how I'll be able to get to check out one of those, because there's no local dealer for those that I know of. I may just call them and see what they got. Marge Campbell says, I do jackets and shirts for local EMS. Cool. And the 15 needles larger hoops help. Yeah, see, the EMS, there's a lot of colors in with their designs. Your firemen, your which usually firemen is like red, black, and white, but there are also crests and shields and things like that. So the multi needles definitely help, instead of sitting there switching threads every 5 minutes. That's frustrating. Vanessa Deb C says they have a huge show spring and now fall, not just quilting, but lots of embroidery also. But a lot of times the embroidery is hand in hand with quilting. It's hand in hand in a lot of instances. As a matter of fact, a lot of my designers that I buy embroidery designs from, like Embroidery Library or emblibrary.com, they even have quilting stippling designs that you can purchase. So it goes hand in hand. So it's understandable why there would be embroidery machines there. Debbie Kidd, I will be at the NBM show. Yay! Really looking forward to it. I haven't been to one in years. Marge Campbell, I'm looking forward to it, Debbie. Marge Campbell, I'm almost an hour to Walmart. Never any shows near me. Oh no, man, you in the sticks. Where are you, Miss Marge? Tracy Jones, hello everyone. I'm late, been out driving Lyft. Ooh, be careful, my dear. Be careful out driving. Rose says, bye, love your videos. Go girl. We'll see you later, Miss Rose. Marge says, I can add more machines to the GS 1501, but not into having a huge business. See, and that's because that's one of those commercial lines. I know with Happy, you can buy the one multi-needle machine. I think it's 15 needles as well. But they have it where you can buy another one later and add it to it, or buy two more later and add it to it. That's commercial, so that it will encourage you to do commercial work. The technology in the new machine, Miss Maria says, is unbelievable. I can't believe they have scanners and cameras and everything but the kitchen sink. Yes, ma'am. Saw it with my own eyes. It's crazy. Matter of fact, I think I saw a sink in there somewhere. Marge says, my little SE270D Disney sews beautifully. Love the cutter, saves a ton of time. And those little machines, I'm trying to tell you, it is phenomenal. It's not hard to learn. It's easy to use. It's very user friendly, and you can do a lot with it. So yes, I do love the little 4x4 machines. Vanessa says, I don't even think the boyfriend loan will cover that one. No, ma'am. That's a car. That is a car. Okay, 20K, that's a car. Joy says, I have a PE 770 and a PR 670 EC. Cool beans. You got the two brother machines. Miss Bickham says, the commercial machines are also made to handle heavy duty production work on a daily basis. And that reminds me, I definitely need to get into my machine with you guys and let you know what happened with that. Dar Smith says, yes ma'am, you said rejoice correctly. Thank you. We rejoice together. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to get it right. But Lita, I have to show my husband. He thinks I have too many 4 machines and all. No. Tell hubby stay in his lane. Let me shut up. Because I can't tell mine that. He be over here telling me what to do all the damn blame time. I'm like, can't embroider then. You got so much to tell me. Get over here and do some work instead of having me over here doing it all the time. It's funny. Deb C says, you have a Janome combo that you love. I use my brother 820 for a second machine. That is phenomenal. Debbie Kidd says, I started out with brother and they were great, but nothing beats commercial machines. I love them. I'm trying to tell y'all. Maria says, if they would only come out with an embroidery machine that you wouldn't have to hoop the item at all. No, they don't have that, but they have hoops that help with that. They do have hoops that help keep you from having to hoop anything. Miss Bickham says, those lasers, cameras, scanners, on-screen editing, and light digitizing on the screen, 4-way sewing are wonderful things. What is it they have added now? Like she said, everything but the kitchen sink. I'm trying to tell y'all. Kizzy, hello to you, dear. Thank you for being here. Frida says, I just saw a short video on the Luminaire and I'm drooling. I'm trying to tell y'all. Frida says, I want a multi-needle. Put it on your list. Janet McKinney, hey love. Hello friend, you're here. Thank you for being here. Dolores came late, but you're here. Thank you for being here as well. Frida, you said changing 5 colors drives you nuts. I understand. Debbie Kidd, I just finished 175 scrub tops with 3 colors. That would be 525 color changes. Ouch. Yes. But if that's what you have, to work with, make it work. I'm just saying, if you have the ability to get a multi-needle machine, you will notice the difference, and it is a beautiful difference. It really, really is. Will, mom said, thank you for the cat toys. Tell mom I said she's welcome. We want to make sure the kitties are happy. Sharon Blake says, sending prayers that the hurricane will lose steam. I know that's right, ma'am, because I'm not feeling this hurricane at all. What is it? Whoops, sorry. A moth done came in my studio and I'm trying to kill it on camera. What kind of sense does that make? Tony says, we spent today battening down the hatches. I'm east of Raleigh. Oh man, you're not far from me at all. Bickham says, see, we were headed your way to hunker down if it weren't going there as well. I know, I thought of that. I did think of that. I was like, oh, she can come inland, and I was like, well, it's coming here. What's the point? And it might miss y'all. That's what's crazy, and come here. It's just, I don't understand. Joyce, how would you secure your machine if the storm comes? Joyce, my last time we had a bad storm threat come through. Now, granted, tornadic activity and stuff like that, if it can pick a house up off the foundation, that machine doesn't stand a chance. And I'm not even about to stress completely out over it. Fortunately, I have homeowners insurance that will cover it. But the machine, just in case water damage or something like that, I'll cover it with a tarp to try and minimize the amount of damage that could happen to it. Make sure that it stays, because right now it's folded up because we just brought it back home. So I would make sure that all of that is folded up and tucked away and stuff. But that's pretty much all I'm going to be able to do. So, you know, I'm not going to worry about it, and I'm not going to risk my life. So, you know, there really isn't too much it can do. Lorna says, I put mine back in the boxes they came in and praying the styrofoam keeps them safe. Between that and, like I said, wrap, putting tarp, it's the only thing you can do. Joyce, which I did that, just lost my PE 770 as a result of Hurricane Irma. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that, because that's, you know, a pain when it's out of your hands, you know, and it really isn't too much you can do about it. Justin says he'll be at the show as well, so you guys will get to meet Justin in the flesh as well, the fantabulous Justin. Joyce Box says, love the stay in your lane comment. My husband thinks you just pressed the button. Tell him my bad. Carol Coleman, I just went to see the Baby Lock Solaris. I haven't seen it yet. Maria says, my 7-year-old granddaughter says, Grandma, you already have 3 machines. Why do you need another one? I told her, just like you, I want more toys. Ma'am, you said a mouthful. Tell that baby she'll learn. Wait till she already knows. I want another Barbie, right? Okay, well, Granny want another machine. Aurora says to tell you she's here and says hello. Well, hey, Aurora, how are you, my dear? I miss seeing you, and I hope you're reading your books. Hope you're reading your books, ma'am, and not giving Grandma a hard time, which you never do, so I ain't worried about it. Rhonda says, I agree, E, but you can always replace the machine, but a life lost is priceless. That is absolutely correct, and we definitely want to make sure that all of our friends and family and viewers in the East Coast area in the path of this weather that's headed this way is safe. You know, safety first. If they tell you to evacuate, you can take the machine, but it'll slow you down. You might as well just let it sit there and let it take the brunt of what's coming and you get out of the way. So it would be devastating to hear that I've lost viewers because of a storm, you know, so that would suck. But on another note, I wanted to point something out to you guys that was brought out to me while we have just a smidge of time left. Actually, we don't. It's 2 minutes after. So I'm going to take a little bit more of your time to mention this. I took Blessing to the shop because she started acting up on me. As a matter of fact, it told me there was a main board motor error and it locked up. All right. And I was just embroidering like I do every day. Cutaway stabilizer. It was a shirt. And it shouldn't have had any issues, but it did, and it locked up. So in trying to get the thread that it looked like was wrapped around it and all of that jazz, I noticed how dirty the machine was myself. As far as sticky residue, I did notice that. And I know where it's coming from because I had cleaned the machine before, but I had an order that was quite a few pieces, and I used sticky back stabilizer to embroider on it. Okay, so one thing I will mention, couple of things I'll mention. The first one is there's been a lot of debate lately in our embroidery groups about using compressed air to clean your machine. That's canned air, that's an air blow gun, that's any of those types of things to use air to blow out the strings and the strands. And there, most of the folks are saying no, you should not do it. And as I've mentioned in videos prior to, my repair person came and used it here. He told me there wasn't an issue using it if it's dry in the electronics type. And the argument is that it pushes more debris back up in the machine. If it's used incorrectly, yes, that's true. It will do that. I have been using it on my machine. I don't use it all the time. And I'm not going to advise anyone to use compressed air anymore. So definitely check with your repair people on how they feel like you should do. A vacuum cleaner could work. When I tried to vacuum, it didn't work for me. But I found some brushes. So I have a set of brushes that I use in my machine to clean my machine out. Actually, there are these here. I'll go ahead and show them to you. These are, I guess, air gun brushes. I don't know. But it's 5 of them on a ring. Okay, and I'm able to get up in there and pull threads out, and I use the size that's appropriate for the area that I'm trying to get dust and debris out of, reach it up in there and all that jazz. But I also am very mechanically inclined, so I take my throat plate off and I'm able to get down in there and clean better because I'm comfortable doing that. But at any rate, so saying all that to say, one good piece of information that I got from taking my machine in is there was no threads pressed way back up in the machine from using the canned air. There were none, actually. It was very clean, so I'm quite proud of me and blessing for that. But the other thing that was a problem was the sticky and the gummy. Now, originally when I first got my machine, the Lee's Creative Sewing and Vacuums had a sticky back stabilizer that they sold to me that I was using. It was a pretty decent size roll, and actually a pretty big roll, and it was $90 roughly for the roll, but it lasted a good long time for my projects. But I was doing a lot of projects, so I did end up having to buy it again eventually. But it was excellent stabilizer. I didn't have any residue issues, no problems with it. Well, after getting close to using up that second roll, I got cheap, right? And I was like, okay, there has to be somewhere else to get this stuff for less than $90. That's too much money. And I made the mistake of switching, and I switched to a different brand. At this moment, I'm not going to say who it is, but I did switch to a national embroidery brand that you would think better of, but it wasn't. And that's what I've been using, and I've noticed that as I've been using it, it would get gummy in my machine and gum up my needles real bad. So that was causing a lot of my problems with Blessing, is the sticky back stabilizer, okay, and that cheaper brand that I was using. So I did let him know that I will be switching back to using the sticky back stabilizer from the dealer, and they've actually changed brands. I want to say it's Floriani. He said it's an excellent one, and it doesn't gum up the machine either as the first brand that they had. So for those who was using the sticky back stabilizer from Lee's Creative Sewing and Video here in Charlotte, North Carolina, continue. Their sticky back stabilizer was top notch. They've changed manufacturers, as I just mentioned, but it's still an excellent quality. But the kind that I'm using, I will not be using again. So, and I have almost a full roll, but I'm gonna get rid of it because that was tragic. As a matter of fact, when I was trying to clean out my machine the last time, I noticed that, you know, it was a lot of sticky, and that you know, I was like, okay, well, I just had to be careful, but it almost messed up my machine, y'all. So please be cautious with the stabilizers that you're using. All right. Maria says she uses the vacuum cleaner and pipe cleaners, and that's kind of what these technically are pipe cleaners, but like on a more industrial level, because as you see, they have the bristles and they're not super soft like pipe cleaners. They're actually pretty firm, but they're not hard and will scratch or damage your machine as long as you use them carefully, you know. So, and like I said, there's 5 different sizes on here, and I think it was like $1.50 at Harbor Freight is where I got these from, over in the Air Tools section, the Air Tools accessories section, where you would buy hoses, the air guns, all of that jazz. That's where you will find these. All right, so that's an option. Maria also agrees with the compressed air. Tony says your favorite tool for cleaning is some really soft paint brushes. It grabs the gunk nicely. Marge, you said good night. You have a good night, my dear. Aisha, can you put a link for the stabilizer? What I would have to do is put the name and phone number to the my dealer, so that you can contact them by phone directly, because that's what he was saying, that people were calling for the stabilizer before. They would call and order by phone and they'll ship it to you. So that's where I would get it from. So that's where I would put the information in the description below as soon as I'm done with the live tonight. So Just So Boutique, hello to you. Good evening. Good evening. Rhonda, well, you have to get ready for the night, to get ready for work tomorrow. Nice to actually catch you live. Good night and be safe all. Good night to you too. And I definitely want to say you guys have a good night, because it is now 9 o'clock and it's rather late. I appreciate, as always, I appreciate you being here. Please, if you enjoyed the live discussion this evening, give us a thumbs up down below and subscribe and click the bell if you would like the YouTube to notify you whenever we post videos or whenever we go live. If you click the subscribe and then click the bell notification down there below, then it will let you know, and you won't miss out on any of our live discussions. I look forward to seeing you guys this week with our live unboxing of the Carolina Thread Box embroidery projects, the first month installment. So if you haven't gotten your subscription started for the month of September, if you want the September box, you have to order by tomorrow. All right, so don't forget about that. And next time, when I don't know if Justin will be back next Sunday. If he is, then we'll do some information on vinyl. If he's not, then we'll have another embroidery related discussion. But either way, I'm going to go ahead and go over this price list with you guys. I finally brought it over here. And this is what the local commercial business charges for embroidery, to let you guys know how they have theirs broken down. And that could also actually go in good with our discussion on the craft fairs as well, and determining how to charge. So at any rate, we'll do all of that. We'll do all that. So thank you very much, you guys. Deb C, you use the long tweezers and small pieces of fleece to clean your machine. The fleece grabs the dust and dirt. Miss Bickham says keyboard vacuum tools for some of the machine cleaning. So those are some tips, closing tips for you guys. So thank you for joining us this evening. I appreciate always you being here. Look forward to seeing you guys next Sunday, 8 p.m. sharp, here at the Baby's Booty Studios. We also want to go ahead and give another hearty thank you to Miss Dar Smith for the super chat. That was very generous and very kind, and I definitely appreciate the support of our channel. So I look forward to seeing you all again next week, and until the next time, we want you to have happy embroidering. You guys have a great evening and look forward to seeing you then. Good night.